Hi everyone, Soulsilver17 here. Let me like usual with on this picture, not paid video. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of stuff's been going on. I even had trouble with YouTube for a bit. I couldn't, I couldn't like upload videos for some reason. It was like my files weren't saving, and it's happened multiple times. So I did record a video yesterday, but it was just like a 10-second video just to see if it was working properly. And yeah, and work and school has been going on. I've been trying to pass my classes, so I'm currently in a class where I am hopefully gonna pass. So yeah. But anyways, this is going to be kind of a short one because I figure out how to make this, part, the last, basically the last, the last part of the series for Bond Deku. Alright? Well, technically, until I watch some more episodes of My Hero Academia, which is probably going to be way longer. So, for now, this is going to be the final part of this series, and then it's going to be the Asta one, maybe tomorrow, or finally going back to Izuku solo leveling. So yeah. I hope you... Also, I've been kind of working more later at my job lately, so I've been up longer, and I kind of been going back to video games too, and I've been watching some more anime, so I came up with some more ideas of what ifs. But yeah, but I'm not gonna make any new ones until I get like a majority of my what ifs finish. So let's just get on with this. Oh, by the way, the provisional license exams, Zuko not going to be a part of it, because if you really think about it, if he's in there, he went against the #1 villain of Japan by himself. And, well, if you guys don't remember my last video, go look in the playlist of it. So, yeah, last time, that part, him versus All of them lose. I don't think they want to make him, a hero, but giving his provisional license exams is like the one thing I think the Hero Commission would do, along with the Aizawa and Bon and Elise or Elaine. Yeah, let me double check that. Yeah, Elaine, I was right. So yeah, with their help and understanding of what Zuko has, I think yeah, it's better off he doesn't go in there. I mostly skip over them anyways. So yeah. Anyways, though, just know this: Zuko has become famous, and someone a while back said about I've been made like Uraraka say Bakugo. I think I basically said Katsumi Bakugo has a cousin that's basically male version of her. So basically Bakugo Katsuki. Yeah. I basically had to watch my videos again before making this. And I know I made Midnight be Mitsuri, so yeah. Alright, let's just head into this what if now. This is What If Deku Almost Trained My Bon. Part whatever it is. Okay, so last time we left off in the series, as I already mentioned, is that Izuku defeated the #1 hero. I mean, not #1 hero, #1 villain. And everyone in Japan saw it. So, let's just say this. For the past couple of days, UA has been, had many people swarming around it just to try to get to talk to Bond, Deku. And, try to get his autograph, ask him questions. Some girls want to, trying to ask him out on a date, get an aura, basically all that stuff, you know, and such. But Yue upgraded their security, and one time even basically Katsumi Bakugo, basically her cousin, came to Yue and asked Deku for his autograph. And legit, they basically hanged out. Now, for basically Midnight, aka Mitsuri, Deku, and Katsumi, it's been one crazy day after another for them. It's hard for even Deku just to go out and be in public. Elaine and Bon have been, basically being the parents that Deku never had. So, they've been getting like a relationship of parents with him, and well, Izuku likes it, and so basically we do have on this day where it is about the provisional license exam, where Izuku, Katsumi, Mitsuri are all in a classroom with everyone else, and Deku just basically has his head down the desk. Now, Katsumi basically says this. She basically says this. Bon, why are you tired? Which basically Deku responds and saying, well, constantly have to be awake because my dad keeps training me so much. In which Katsumi looks at him for a few minutes, blinking, and she goes, huh? Dad? He goes, Bon. Him and Elaine have been treating me like a... Well, Bon did raise me, and he is like my dad, and then my mom, aka Elaine, been treating me like an actual parent, so... And when she goes, oh, I see, which then Mitsuri just chimes in, basically saying, oh, so that's why I heard someone screaming, saying, like, stop fooling around like a ragdoll old man. Ragdoll old man. In which he goes, yep, that was me. I had no sleep last night because of him. I only like maybe 4 hours of sleep. If I take a quick nap, I should be good before class starts. And, well, right when he basically puts his head down the desk again, Aizawa opens the door, and he goes, like, he's about to say something, and then he goes, like, Deku's about to say something until Aizawa says, alright, problem children, here's the thing. You all have your provisional license exams besides two of you. Which, everyone, like, looking at Aizawa, kind of curious. In which, I think Denki would be like, sir, why just two of us? Well, two of us don't have it. In which, well, Aizawa just says, wow, smart answer. A smart question, first time. Which, Denki goes like, heh. And then Aizawa says, alright then, Kaminari, here's the thing. One of you has a circumstance that, well, she has to take a different provisional license exam in a different area. And another one of you is, well, how should I say this? As he just throws the provisional, a provisional license towards Deku as he catches it. He goes, that the Hero Commission already decided to give you it because, you defeat All for One. You made him surrender, became, in our custody. And also, as in all of a sudden, Kirigiri, comes in. He goes like, basically, he goes like, and you even have Kirigiri here that, helped out and located some bases of Nomus and some other villains across the world. Which, other countries are happy that we helped them out. So, you're lucky, kid. Besides, they even agreed. You, with everyone else, how should I say this right? And it's not that they're trapped in with, you're not trapped in with them, they're trapped in with you situation. And basically Deku's just looking at his provisional license, and he's looking back at Aizawa, And he looks back at Kirigiri, as then Kirigiri, does say, "That is correct, young master. It would be excuse my language, but a slaughter for them." Which then, Deku just nods. He was like, "Yeah, that seems about right." Lucky for me. Which, everyone just looking at Deku. Some are in shock, but then, just saying, "That ain't fair!" And basically, I want to say this. Either it's just like, he's just like staring at Deku. He wants to say something, but he can't. Everyone just can't. So, yeah. So after that, Kirigiri does stay in the class. And because basically he's helping out Aizawa for class and, other things. And, just like history, give his point of view on whether he was given knowledge of, about some villain's quirks, basically. So, yeah. And so we do have then after class, or say after school, where Katsumi is just like, okay, this is BS. So you don't have to take the provisional license while we all do. Besides, which, she looks at Mitsuri with her eyes and Deku nods. And then he goes, "Look, here's the thing. Sorry I can't be in there with you, but hey, look, try to work with others. Seriously. I mean, you've been doing so well and not being so cocky, and all that, at all, actually. So, which she does not. He goes like, I'll work with others, but if I fail, I fail. In which he does look at her and goes like, look, I won't be upset with you if you fail, okay? Just try your best. Have fun. Besides, hit some people in the face for me. Alright? But she does nod. And, she basically runs over to, the area where they're all meeting from the official license. Which Mitsuri just asks, do you think she's gonna win? Which he goes, optimistically? No. Knowing? Maybe. Which she was like, yeah. She doesn't yell a lot, but she may lose her temper. Which Deku just nods. So, what happens in canon, happens in canon. Also, that guy that was about to be, killed by Todoroki's flames, and the guy with the wind quirk, basically, yeah, he was saved by Bakugo. Basically by Katsumi. And she did lose. She did lose because of the rescuing, but she also got, her points to pass. But, she only got 1 point. Only 1 point. That, to actually have passed and got her license. In which she is, 1 point away. Just that one thing. Just that one time when you're like, you have to be kidding me moment. So, yeah. But anyways, so after that, Katsumi gets back. She's, has a depressing aura around her. Deku and Mitsuri did ask what happened, and she tells them about the 1 point thing. And, Deku just hugs her and just said, it's okay, it's fine. You did your best, and that is kind of BS, but hey, it happens. And she does not, and basically she does say, says that she's allowed to take the test again. And, Deku just smiles and says, well, that's good. And yeah, basically then, let's just say this. What happens next is, Meliodas, Bon, and Elaine come in. And so, when Deku, Katsumi, and Mitsuri, and along with some other students that are there, let's say Uraraka, Ida, and Denki, basically Deku says, Meliodas? Bon? Elaine? What are you guys doing here? In which Bon just says, well, kid, it's time for training. And besides, you're not going to be fighting me today, you're going to be fighting Captain over here. As then Meliodas goes like, yo. And for some reason, Deku has this aching feeling he's going to be hurting a lot later. So, he just says, how much of your power you're going to use against me? He goes, I'll try to use half of it, but most likely I have to use maybe 70%. We'll have to figure that out. So come on. And which his deck is like, okay. He just looks at everyone and goes like, wish me luck. And, well, hopefully I won't die. And I think then, Mitsuri just says this, along with, Uraka saying, you're immortal, you can't die. And he's like, true, but still. And so Katsumi just says, just don't scream too loud, please. And he asks, why? Because you'll be worried about me? And she does nod, and he was like, aw, thanks, I'll try. So, he does walk away, and for the train, let's just say this. Yeah, Meliodas was kind of surprised with Deku. He didn't know that it would. He got like a stronger very quickly, that's what I mean. And he didn't think that he was going to have to use more than 70. 75%. He would have to use 2 more percents in it, so like 77%. And yeah. So, and then basically him and Bond sparred, but it was like, how should I say this? It was like just a light spar because of Meliodas. He wanted to see how Deku's, skills were with Zero Sign, Physical Hunt, Snatch, Hunterfest, and I think that was it. I have looked up what they were, so it was kind of hard to find out the abilities because it was just for some reason it was just hard to find the abilities. I think I wrote them down, but I just didn't know where, so I looked them up, and I tried to go on based off of memory now on it, because I kept writing it, kept repeating it to myself. I kept repeating it to myself, so that way I won't forget. But I might have. So, yeah. Just give me a minute then. Alright, so I just found it. Yeah, I was right. It was Hunterfest, and Physical Hunt, Banishing Kill, and Assault Hunt. And Zero Sign, basically. I think I said them all. So, anyways. Yeah. So, basically, they tested out all of that, and, Deku quite improved on them. Now, though, we will have them to, 2 to 3 days later, where everyone's in class just doing their schoolwork, or talking. I think they were talking. Until again, Aizawa comes in, and he tells them all they have special guests. Basically, it's from class, 3A. And, everyone's like, huh? Who could it be? Then basically, Mirio, Nejire, and Tamaki basically all come in, and they do all the exact same thing. Basically, it's just everything will go to canon with this. And so, what I mean by this is just Mirio wants to fight everyone, basically to test out everyone, to see how strong they are. And what happens is simple. They will do exactly the same thing like it does in canon, and the only one who's left standing is Deku. Well, basically, when Kazumi did try to, take down Mirio, she nearly got him, but he basically phased right through the explosion and sent a punch right into her gut and sent her flying, and Deku caught her. And, he did tell her, nice job, but, but it was kind of obvious that he would phase right through it. And she goes, just shut it. Hopefully you could learn the timing of it. In which he does smile at that. So he does say, oh, So you knew you were gonna lose, so you try to give me an advantage. And her face blushes, and she just like looks away. And he goes like, "All right, thanks." You should have just said that from the beginning, though. He basically walks over to the area where she can get out of the way and puts her down. And well, basically Midnight fought, but she was taken out. Mirio did well, basically did throw a punch, and she tried to dodge it, and yeah, she did get hit too, which Deku did get her, go to her after she was alright, and she did nod. So yeah, so now it's just Mirio and Deku. As Mirio goes like, "So, you're basically the guy I heard of, Bond," and he goes like, "Huh? Hey, what happened to your clothes?" Which he goes, sorry, it's when I basically use my quirk, I basically permeate through them." He's like, "Oh, alright then. So, that's your quirk? Permeation? I mean, I thought it was phasing through stuff, but actually, permeation and phasing through stuff is actually exactly the same thing. Sorry then." Which he goes, "Huh?" He goes, never mind. So, Mirio, show me what you're made of." In which Mirio smirks, and he does run over to Deku really quickly, which, no offense, Deku can see it. And basically Mirio yells out, "Power!" basically. And, well, Deku does dodge it, which kind of surprised Tamaki and Nejire. And Mirio a little bit, but kind of what he saw in the news, he's not really surprised. I think basically Deku just kind of dodges him. He's like, your form's pretty good. You have power, and you have speed. But the one thing you don't have is, something. As then when Deku kind of stops and think about this, Mirio, throws a punch and hits Deku in the face. And then he goes like, when when basically Mirio's fist connects to his face, he goes like, "Oh, yeah, skill." Which, they're kind of shocked besides Class 1A and Aizawa. In which Mirio's like, "Does that even hurt?" He's like, "Oh, no, your punches are way weaker than my dad and Captain." Which, that kind of confused Mirio along with Nejire. So, basically, Deku grabs, Mirio's wrist, and Mirio permeates right through his hand. And then he goes, "So, let's try this then." As in he says, "Physical hunt." And he starts to siphon off Mirio's strength. In which, Mirio is basically on his knee, basically taking a knee, on the ground, panting. He's like, "Why do I feel so tired all of a sudden?" As some, purple auras around Deku. And he goes, "Man, you had some power in you. Nice. Sorry about this, then." As he basically dashes forward, surprising Mirio and Nejire, and, I think a little bit of everyone. Because he became faster, so. Yeah, he basically throws a punch, it hits Mirio, but he didn't put all the power in it. But it does send Mirio flying, though, into a wall. In which Mirio was like, "Ow, everything hurts." And basically, Deku stops using physical hunt, and Mirio's like, gets his strength back, but it's like slowly coming back. In which he does get out of because he was implanted into the wall, so he gets out of it. And he goes, "That hurts." And, Zuko goes over to where Mirio was originally, where he was in camp before he permeated through the ground. He basically grabs his clothes and walks over to him and throws it on him. Well, throws it to him. He goes like, "There you go." He goes, "Thanks." He goes, "No problem." He goes, "How did you..." He goes, "Oh, do that? My quirk is called Snatch. I'm allowed to, steal anything I want. Including your speed, basically anything that to do with your speed, stamina, and strength. I kind of stole all three. Not steal it, more like borrowed it, but stole until I didn't need it no more. You know what I mean?" Which Mirio does nod, and he has his clothes on now, so he does say, that's a pretty great quirk. He's like, it has its perks. Anyways, though, so, what do you think? He goes, well, everyone here seems to be seems to be good on their own thing, but, you're on a whole different level. He was like, comes with the territory of the family. Which, Mirio kind of wonders about that, but anyways. After that, we do have them going back to class, and the whole entire working with the hero, choice, happens. And Mirio says that Sir Nighteye would, like to have Izuku to come to his agency and work with him. And so the whole entire thing is when they get there, is basically simple. To pass the test, he just literally just snatches the piece out of Sir Nightaye's hand. Out of Nighteye's hand, basically, and Nighteye doesn't even understand how. He even made him laugh by saying, like, you thought it was gonna be so easily, you thought it was gonna be so easy for me not to steal this. It's in your hand while you being overconfident. Besides, it really isn't that hard to steal something with a quirk that allows you to steal stuff. It's, how should I say this? I just snatched it out underneath your, I snatched it underneath your nose. Which, now I just looks at him and he's like, is that supposed to be a pun or a joke? It's like, but she just shrugs, like, I don't know, you decide. It's crappy though if it was a pun or a joke. In which he does nod. It was, well, you did make me laugh, but you pass. It's like, cool. So, what happens next is simple. They're gonna be doing their patrolling. Because that's what I remember, they do patrolling right at the, right when they started. Now, here's where the difference is. You see, Aries not gonna be running, from Overhaul. You're gonna see. So, while basically Sir Nighteye and Bubble Girl, Mirio, and Deku are outside, outside the agency, Nighteye is like this. Here's the man we're looking for. I've been working on this case for a while. His name is Chisaki. Chisaki? They say aka Overhaul. I've been trying to find any information on him. If you see him, do not engage at all costs. But Deku just says, but if we need to use our quirks, are we allowed to? In which he goes, yes, you're allowed to use your quirks. He goes, cool. Which Mirio goes like, why you ask? He was like, well, if we got permission, if we need to save someone, Besides, even I got my provisional license, still want to make sure that he thinks to himself, even though this ain't a quirk. Like, seriously. Hopefully, Nighteye knows. As I'm basically Nighteye is looking at Deku, he was like, Bond. I'm like, undead Bond. He was like, yeah, sir. He goes, yeah, Nighteye. He was like, do not worry, I know about your condition. So he, with Izuku, kind of goes over to him. Kind of puts his arm around his shoulder. Brings him down to his level. He was like, and Westbrook goes like, so you know this ain't a quirk? Which he does not. He goes like, I called up Nezu and asked him. And then he directed me to Aizawa. And, well... And then I talked to Bond and Elaine and someone named Merlin. Which he goes like, then he basically smiles like, sweet, so you're not going to be mad if I use it either way? Which he does not. He's saying, I won't be mad. I can't. I can't even reprimand you on it. In which he just has a grin on his face. He was like, well then, at least I don't have to, hide it from you. Anyways, see you Nighteye. See you Bubble Girl. come on, Mirio, let's go. So basically, Mirio's just looking at Nighteye and Bubble Girl. Nighteye just says, just go with him. And keep an eye on him. I feel he's going to be more trouble than anything. And which Mirio goes like, yes, sir. And, basically leaves. Now, while on patrol, Miracle's like, so, what was that with, about with you and Sir? He's like, oh, it was nothing, basically just about my condition. And that was it. He's like, what condition? He's like, just a certain amount of, when I use my quirk, some type of side effect. I have a tendency to steal things. He was like, huh? He was like, yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, it's snatch. I'm allowed to steal anything. So, Which he was like, alright. So while they're walking and patrolling, let's just say this, an hour of patrolling later, Mirio basically Bond, or should I say, Deku's like this. Something's gonna happen. I want to basically get some rescuing someone and, stopping a crime. Which Mirio's like, Bond, undead Bond. We can't, we can't basically wish for that. He was like, why? It's so boring doing patrolling. Not really, but an hour of nothing? Come on. Don't tell me this ain't suspicious. Which was like, sometimes this happens, but we always have to be prepared for as an all-of-a-sudden explosion happens. As basically Izuku just grins, and basically Mirio just like, don't you dare say it. He was like, what? He was like, you jinxed it. Don't you dare say it. Well, he was like, too bad. Finally, some action! Let's go! So basically he runs over and Mirio just sighs. And he's like, Sarah's right, he is more trouble than it's worth. So basically he just runs after him with a smile. So, what is happening? A hero with a little girl with basically blue hair with red eyes and a gown of, basically, looks like she was in the hospital. Sort of. Hospital gown, let's just say that much. I guess, or a dress. I really don't know what it is. It looks like a dress, so, And, basically, I have a horn. While the hero is, carrying her, he's like, crap, what's with this guy? She just asked me for help, and I sent him to the hospital, and he's, why is he trying to kill me? My quirk ain't good for this. And basically, Aries crying, and he's trying to, get her out. And he's running by some heroes. Heroes basically seeing this guy, basically in this creature structure thing. Imagine it, Izuku versus Overhaul fight. Deku versus Overhaul fight, basically. Imagine that is chasing this hero with Eri. Basically, the guy's quirk is a speed quirk. And, yeah, that's it. That's what he means. His quirk ain't good. So, multiple heroes are trying to stop this guy. And basically, Overhaul is like, get out of my way! He touches the ground, multiple spikes are going after, at the heroes. When basically, the actual spikes are trying to get near the guy that's holding Eri, he basically, speeds up a little bit faster and able to run on the walls and, get out of the way. This has happened multiple times, and the spikes have followed him, but, he still gets away. Which Overhaul gets, says, give her back to me, you stupid hero! And so, yeah. This, basically, Izuku and Mirio are running in the direction of the chaos and destruction, and, well, when this hero sees these two teenagers, he legit says, I don't want to die, and I don't want to get this girl in danger, but, wait, I know that kid, he's from Nighteye's agency, but what's his name again? Lemillion, which, basically the guy runs over to him and goes like, Lemillion, take her! As, well, Mirio goes like, huh? So, he basically, the guy throws Eri to her, to Mirio, as Mirio was surprised, but before Mirio can even catch her, basically Deku does. He goes like, oh, throwing a kid? What the heck is wrong with you? As he basically sees something coming out of this hand hitting the building as it, basically gets destroyed. And Spikes goes towards the hero as he basically moves out of the way along with Mirio and Deku as he's holding Eri. As Eri goes, "The Batman's gonna get me. The Batman's gonna get me. Help me!" Basically, just shaking in his arms, basically. As Deku legit just looks at him, and he basically puts a hand on her head. He was like, "Don't worry." I mean, he basically looking down, seeing the bandages on her, and he knows when someone's not in the good state of mind because of where he was when he was a kid. So this kind of reminds him of it, and he legit just gets up. I mean, he was already standing. I mean, he basically walks over to Mirio, which this basically Ares looking at him, and he's just looking at Overhaul, coming closer to them basically, because it's full view. As he basically gives he gives Eri to Mirio. He basically says, "Get her out of here. I'll handle this." He was like, he's like, "Undead Bond, what are you?" As all of a sudden, Mirio sees Deku takes out his 4-section staff. Basically, he goes, "I told you, I'll handle this." And Hero, you better have basically get back in that direction with all that destruction. This is really gonna be a pain, but basically he cracks his neck. He was like, "This is gonna be a little bit fun." Which then Ares says, "No, he's gonna kill you." As then basically Deku was walking forward when he said that, and he looks back. He goes, "Kid, don't you know who I am? I'm basically the undead Bond. Well, the Fox agreed. So I really can't die." In which Mirio kind of just thinks that's just a name he went with. He's like, "Are you stupid? You're going to..." As all of a sudden they see a, concrete spike hit Deku in the stomach. In which, Eri, eyes wide, and Mirio is instructing along to Hero, as basically Overhaul says, "See, Eri, this is what happened when you don't listen to me. His death is..." As then he just hears someone says, "Oi, quit talking already." As they just hear something break. Which, well, they basically Overall sees Deku legit taking out the earth spike the concrete spike from his stomach, out of his back, and then just puts it down. The blood is steaming, and basically there's a hole in his stomach that was steaming, basically closing up, which that kind of shocks Mirio and the Hero and Eri, which Oro goes like, "What? How is that possible?" He was like, "Well, simple. My name, Undead Bond." You really should get it right, Overhaul. In which, well, Overhaul is looking at him. He was like, "I don't know how, but I'm going to kill you." As then, all of a sudden, he just hears Deku says, "Physical hunt." As well, all of a sudden, Overhaul's stamina and strength is disappearing. As then, Deku just has a grin and says, "Zero sign." It disappears from sight. Nobody knows where he is, but he's walking towards Overhaul very slowly, while still, his stamina and, is being drained of his strength. So, what happens next is very simple. Deku legit says, "Well, this is the first time I'm ever gonna do this. I mean, haven't done this in a while, but let's see what's gonna happen." And then he basically takes aim. He basically saw what happened to the building when the hand touched it. So, or at least part of the building. He basically saw it was destroyed, so he thinks maybe his quirk allows him to use his hands. Let's see what happens when I get rid of them. As well, basically in Zero Sign, he just says banishing kill. As he basically launches himself towards Overhaul, as Overhaul feels nothing for a minute, and then Deku basically immediately, has himself turn around because he's, uses magic to make a whip to basically fling himself and then even does manage and kill again, to then, well, takes out the left arm. As then he lands, appearing right in front of everyone, in a crouch. As then Overhaul is like, dare you! As all of a sudden he looks at his right arm, he doesn't have no hand. And then all of a sudden, the whole entire, golem he was in is, basically being destroyed. And it changes right back to basically being humans. And, when basically that happens, Overhaul can see that his hands and part of his arm is gone. He was like, you, as he goes, yeah. And make sure you can't use your quirk no more. Not bad as they work, huh? He was like, I'll make you pay! As he basically gets up and tries to run over to Deku, and again, he has no more hands, so he can never make a fist. Deku simply dodges his attempt and backhands him in the face, sending him flying into a building. He was like, man, that's kind of anticlimactic. Oh well, not my problem. As he looks back at Mirio and the hero and Eri, Eri's eyes is widen. As Mirio's like, but how? He was like, dude, it's in my name. Undead Bond? Foxen agreed. Come on. I thought it was obvious. But he was like, but, all of a sudden, Nighteye and Bubble Girl came in, as he was like, what happened here? And he goes like, oh, simple. Chizaki. He just points over to a wall where Chizaki is with no, basically, Nighteye sees no hands are there. He was like, what? He can't use his quirk no more. He was like, did you? He was like, he's lucky to be alive. I mean, heroes don't kill. And he has a dangerous quirk, so what do you think? And besides, what he did to the little girl, he's lucky to be alive. Seriously. In which, well, Nighteye wants to say something, he goes like, but then he basically sees the serious look in Deku's, eyes. He was like, would you have killed him? He goes, which basically he's just walking forward and he basically stops right next to Nighteye. And Nighteye's looking at him. And then basically in the corner of Deku's eye, he's looking at Nighteye. He was like, if I think what he did to her is true, yes, I would have killed him. Happy? And, well, yeah, he leaves. Nighteye sighed. And he walks over to Mirio with Eri. As Eri goes like, how are you not dead? And he goes like, oh, I told you, remember? My name is Undead Bond. So, you don't have to worry about me. Alright? Now then, as he takes her, her out of Mirio's arms, he goes like, now, let's go get you something. How's that? Ice cream? Cookie? She goes, ice cream? Cookie? And who are you? And who are you? He's like, oh, well, like I said, my name is Bond. And, well, I'm a hero in training. He goes, hero? I was like, well, I figured as much. Let me guess, you don't even know how to even smile? Or she nods, nods yes because she doesn't know how to smile. Which, Mimir was like, and he goes, yep, I was right. So, yeah. Basically, Overhaul gets into custody. They basically find out what he was doing, and yeah, the whole entire Yakuza raid happens, and everyone gets captured. Just the thing was, without Chizaki, they were kind of, without Overhaul, Chizaki or Overhaul, they were, out of order, and they even were planning to, get him out. So, out of prison. So, yeah. they were all captured and everything was taken and or destroyed. And Izuku was there. He basically destroyed all the research. He did not care if the Hero Commissioner wanted it or not, or anyone. Just that no one has it. Heck, even Kirigiri helped him. And so yeah, Kirigiri does help Izuku with Eri. And Katsumi and Mitsuri are, met her, and they're like, basically kind of trying to spoil her, or, well, trying to make her smile, which she tries to, but she can't. And let's just say this, the whole entire, event of the festival does happen, and the whole entire thing with, Gentle Criminal does happen. The whole entire thing, though, with Deku and him fighting sort of happens, but it's like he basically does pretend to be weak-ish, and so that's the thing. He wants to see what's the reason. He finds out right in the same area where Gentle is defeated, and right when basically La Brava does activate her quirk on Gentle, he basically uses physical hunt and steals all his strength. And yeah, no matter how much he's trying to steal, the strength still keeps coming on to be stronger. So let's just say they're kind of in a physical, tug of war with each other. Basically, no one can get basically the other one to move. And Gentle does spring Izuku away and does get captured like in canon. I mean, I don't really hate the guy that much, so I don't want Izuku to basically nearly kill him, but yeah, I mean, that's all I could think of how to make this all end in one part, because it's been forever since I've done this. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys like this, and yeah, that's everything. So bye everyone, have a nice day, night, wherever you are, and maybe solo leveling Deku's happening tomorrow. If I'm not lazy, tired, or something happens. Yeah, bye.